This episode is brought to you by Resy and American Express. Resy is a digital platform that connects restaurants to restaurant lovers by elevating dining experiences, providing original industry content, and helping to fill some of the country's most exciting dining rooms. Because restaurants have always been more than just places to eat. The amazing world of restaurants is just a few taps away in the Resy app and at resy.com.
Hello, Nigel here. As an owl, I love to be awake all night, but allergy sufferers like you probably don't feel the same. So take Zysol at night to relieve allergies while you sleep. Then wake up fully refreshed for a more productive day. Zysol works fast and offers 24-hour continuous relief from sneezing, runny nose, itchy watery eyes, and itchy nose and throat, so you can enjoy doing the things you love all day long. Be Wisol. Take Zysol at night. Use as directed. Starts working in 45 minutes.
There was no rules. We were full-time students at the time. So it was whatever time in between classes, run to the market, run here, run to the butcher shop, whatever we could get our hands on, whatever we wanted to cook, anything we wanted to serve, we served.
This is Taste. I'm your host, Matt Rothbard. Fardad Khayami, the chef owner of Muse in Santa Monica, has a really great story. Raised in London and a restaurant fan from basically birth, he attends USC and starts hosting pop-up dinners, first for friends and then for ticket holders. The wait list reaches over 6,000 names, and he eventually channels that love for hospitality into his own restaurant. All before the age of 25. Muse is creative, maybe a little chefy, and a name to remember. We talk about his journey and one crazy first year of operating. And at the top of the show, Eric Valdez completes the Resy questionnaire. Eric is a chef at Knox, a high-energy Filipino restaurant in New York's East Village. We talk about food movies, dream dinner parties, and the best pizza in NYC. It's part of a new reoccurring segment where Resy's editors, writers, and partner chefs will share compelling stories and discuss the latest in food and dining culture. I hope you enjoy this episode. We're here with Eric Valdez from the restaurant Knox in New York City. Eric, are you ready to take the Resy questionnaire?
Yes, let's do it, man.
The favorite thing you have ever cooked?
Favorite thing I've ever cooked is probably sinigang. It's a sour soup with a lot of vegetables. It's very good on top of a white rice. Very comforting.
Your favorite meal from childhood?
Childhood, probably my mom's pinakbet. So pinakbet is like a vegetable stew with a lot of vegetables. And alongside with it, we serve it with a bagnet, which is our version of a chicharon.
Oh, yeah, I've had that before.
Man. Tastes like home, man.
Tastes like home. So what was it like cooking with your mom at home? Were you by her side in the kitchen?
Yeah, a lot of times. But when I got into culinary school, that's the time she let me help her in the kitchen. But before that, nah, she just do all the cooking and everything. So, yeah, but it was fun cooking with her.
So you had to be like a professional before your mom would let you.
Yeah, when I started folding all the towels on the side, and that's the time she got like, oh, this is very serious.
Eric's serious now. My son is serious now. I love that story. A kitchen tool or equipment you cannot live without.
An offset spatula. Very versatile. You can use it for tasting food, flipping stuff, plating. Yeah.
Describe the shape of the offset spatula for those who don't know what an offset spatula is.
Oh, offset spatula is like a miniature of a spatula. Very small. It's like a spoon, but on a spatula form.
Eric, you are so right. I have 4 of them that I bought at a kitchen supply store.
Yeah.
You will find so many uses in the kitchen for them.
Yeah, very useful, very useful.
Like at the home kitchen, like non-professional. Like it's like tight little spots. Great call. It's an amazing one. What is your favorite cookbook?
I have this big-ass book, but it's called The Little Black Book. I don't know if you heard of it. It's a pastry book. So, like, the recipes are very accurate. So, I'm a horrible baker. I'm horrible at pastry. So, it helps me a lot in the kitchen. Yeah, so Little Black Book.
Little Black Book. It sounds mysterious and kind of the best thing. What is your drink of choice?
Drink of choice. Easy. It's San Miguel Pale Pilsen. A cold bottle of San Miguel Pale Pilsen. It's a Filipino beer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, if it's a rough night, I'll get a vodka soda.
Okay, that's only on the rough night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nights have been good recently.
Yeah, so it's been San Miguel all the time, man.
San Miguel is to celebrate. Eric, tell me about this series. It sounds really cool. You're having 5
Yep.
chefs come to New York City from all over the world to cook Filipino food or their version of it. Let's take me through this.
Yeah, so the first one we're having is Chef Carlo from Magna. So he has a beautiful restaurant in Portland. So they call him the godfather of Filipino cuisine. Yeah, but he's doing a lot of different take in Filipino food. And we're both from, my family is from the north and he's from the north also. So we're collaborating a lot of northern dishes on the collaboration menu. So it's more, we call it Ilocano. So we're Ilocanos.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of Ilocano dishes that's going to be on the menu. Yeah, and second one, I think we're having Chef Tara from San Diego. She has this beautiful restaurant, Anime. She do a lot of Filipino American food. So I think it's very fit into a New York style. So
Yeah.
everyone should be looking forward for that. And next, I think we're doing a Metis, which is from Manila.
Yeah.
Chef Stefan. Met him once, and a very cool guy. His restaurant is more in fermentation, so a lot of funky flavors gonna be on that menu. So
That's really cool to think about fermentation in Filipino food. It's obviously there.
yeah, it's there. It's a way to preserve food also.
Yeah.
And way to bring out a lot of flavors. So he's very expert in doing a lot of ferments. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to learn from him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the fourth one, I think we're doing hapag.
Okay.
So hapag is like a modern take of Filipino cuisine. So a lot of, I think they're doing now a lot of southern dishes. So very looking forward to that too. And those guys are very cool. So
Where are they from?
they're from Manila too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so 3 restaurants are from Manila.
Okay. And what's the 5th one?
5th one is Toyo.
Oh, yeah.
Very excited about it. A fan of him, fan of Chef Jordy since day one. When I first dined in at their restaurant, 2018, I was blown away. And I was like, I want to do something like this in the future.
Yeah, and it's cool that it's not just one dinner. I mean, these are 5 events. And you're bringing these incredible chefs over here to cook with you.
Yeah, it's not about only dinner. It's with brunch also.
Oh,
So
cool.
We're gonna do brunch on Sundays.
Oh, cool.
So expect a lot of fun dishes.
Yeah. And how long will it be one night for dinner and then one night for brunch?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. So Sunday brunch and Monday dinner.
How do you sign up? What's the good word?
Resy.
Yeah.
Resy have it all, man.
Nice. I like that. Exciting stuff to be able to do this ambitious cooking with friends and new friends. And I think we're listening. we're gonna stop by.
Yeah, please. And we have a lot of cocktails coming in also, new cocktails.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a fun night.
Yeah.
And a lot of new ideas, new food that's coming up. So please come
Dude,
back.
Eric, it's really cool that you and your partners are hosting these chefs. It's really, really nice.
Very grateful for these guys, man. Very supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah, ups and downs, they're gonna be there.
Your favorite food movie?
Probably Burnt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very intense. I mean, it made me curious about what's inside a Michelin kitchen. So yeah, I mean, I still remember I watched it in the cinema.
Yeah.
I was still in New Orleans that time.
Yeah.
That was like 2016,
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah. You watched it in the theater and then did you feel like that was your calling?
Yeah, I think, it's, to be honest, it made me think of like moving to New York. So then I'm here in New York.
I love that a film could inspire
man, that
a
is
young
true,
cook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, a big one for you. What's your favorite pizza in New York?
Ooh, not a pizza guy, Buns. I don't know if you know this spot. So I dined in Dino's.
Dino.
In Kew Gardens.
Oh, cool.
Have you heard of it?
No,
Yeah.
tell me.
So there's a long line every day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they serve this pesto pizza that's they're famous for.
Yeah.
Then they top it off with a sweet marinara sauce. Then they give a hot honey on the side.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That's some toppings, but it sounds like it's probably like one of those extra slices that people
Yeah,
sign up
I
for.
think so. But probably people are raving with it.
It sounds interesting. List 4 industry people, living or dead, you would love to cook a dinner party for.
Oh, that's a lot, man. I just want to cook for Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, Jamie Oliver.
Oh, yeah.
Love watching him when I was a kid. Anthony and Jamie Oliver, those two guys.
Yeah. 2 other seats, anybody come to mind?
I'll pick my bosses,
Yeah.
Ronnie and Chef Shinton. They need to be there.
Definitely a smart move. You got Tony, Anthony, and you got Jamie, and then you get your bosses.
Yeah.
What's the dish that's gonna like kind of be the center of this meal?
I'll make them try this dish. They call the Dining Dang. So it's one of my favorites. It's a vegetable soup that my mom always cooked for me.
Yeah.
So it's flavored with anchovies, like fermented fish sauce.
Oh yeah.
And flavored with smoked fish also. So very hearty.
It's really good. What restaurant industry person do you admire most?
Probably these two guys, man. My bosses, Ronnie and Chef Shinton. I mean, they're very proud of their roots. And I think we need more people like that in the industry. They make places which represent who they are. Leaders that lift people up along the way.
So how did the idea come about for Knox? I mean, you're working for them and you're cooking Indian food at their restaurants. And they know your heritage, and how does it transfer from conversation to actually opening?
Yeah, so funny thing is like that spot that we have in this village is for Ada.
Yeah.
They're supposed to move Ada over there, but I've been telling chef like one day I wanna cook Filipino food. I'm gonna cook Filipino food, and no, it's just come up. Then the maca was hot, very hot that time, and we're serving traditional Indian food over there, and I think that opened our eyes that we should do a lot traditional Filipino food also. So yeah, that's the story. That's the start of the story.
Yeah. And you've been open a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been 2 years in December.
And it seems to be evolving. You had the tasting menu in the back, which was super ambitious. I talked to so many food writers who were blown away by it. I didn't get a chance to try it. I had a la carte in the front. I had a great meal at Knox a little over a year ago. But now you're back to doing all a la carte.
Yeah, all a la carte. We're more focused now. We're more focused on the dishes that very comforting, very traditional, and the dishes that I like to eat every day.
Yeah. What's been the greatest restaurant experience of your life so far?
Probably the opening of Knox.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like just seeing Filipinos and non-Filipinos enjoying Filipino food, man, you cannot beat that.
No. Must have been a really cool moment. Because, New York has Filipino restaurants, of course. But coming from your group and your talent, it was a different era for Filipino food.
Yeah, I mean, he's still very young. I mean, still now, I still get goosebumps. Still remembering that moment, yeah.
What is your greatest professional achievement?
Probably getting a chance to open a Filipino restaurant in the heart of New York. I mean, to showcase our cuisine, to showcase our culture. It is a very proud moment to me, but it comes with a lot of responsibility. Yeah, so.
How do you feel having that responsibility? I mean, does it feel a little bit like, not a burden, but there's a weight there to it?
Yeah, of course. And we need that pressure. That keeps us going every day. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of responsibility, but it's kind of fun telling people about the stories behind all the dishes that we have over there. So, very fun, very tiring to explain everything, but someone needs to do it, man.
Somebody needs to do it, and it's a cuisine that has such deep roots, and it's beautiful cuisine, but many New Yorkers don't know it. We know adobo, we might know sisig, we know kinilaw if we're lucky, but we don't know the many other dishes.
Yeah, I mean those dishes are like the best fundamentals of Filipino cuisine, but the problem with that is like we haven't made the best version of it here in New York. So that's why we're trying to do at Knox, to serve a simple food but the best form of it.
I love that. What single dish best describes your personality?
Probably sisig. Very bold, unapologetic, and very messy, man.
Yeah, explain the dish though. Like tell us a little
Yeah,
bit about
so
what.
the sisig is a lot of offcuts of meat. So it's snout, you have ears, you have pork liver, then you have a very fatty pork belly with it. And some people add pork brains, and some people add mayonnaise.
It's delicious.
Yeah, man.
It's like the best parts of the pig.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And is there like a sauce? I mean, you said mayonnaise, but do you have any kind of acid there?
Yeah, so calamansi. So it's a very Filipino thing. We use calamansi on everything.
Yeah, I love that so much. If you could go back in time, what restaurant would you want to dine at?
Probably El Bulli, for sure. Here in New York, WD50.
Please tell me why. I love these are great choices. They have a lot of overlap. Those two kitchens.
I mean, I would just want to experience the madness, man. Yeah, so I met Chef Wiley once. He signed my book. But yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it. That's the start of the molecular gastronomy thing. Huh? So it's a new chapter of cuisine. So
I love that answer. I feel like we try to go back there with the show and talk to Wiley. We've not had Farhan on the show, but it's such an important era.
Yeah,
so important. What is your wish for the restaurant industry?
I mean, I think this is everybody's wish, man, to be more sustainable. I mean, higher wages for everyone. I mean, working hours. Like, we need to do better, man. Like, I've been trying to do it at the restaurant, but it's kind of hard, but we need to put a lot of work. It's a process.
Yeah. How do you get the wages higher? I mean, this is such a hard question, I realize.
That is, wages are higher. Like, food costs, you need to maintain your food cost at the lowest level you can.
Yeah.
So that in that way, you can adjust the wages a little bit.
Very, very savvy point. And as a chef, it's challenging to keep your food costs low because you want the highest quality. That tension is there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, but yeah, you just need to work on it every day.
Yeah.
To be focused.
Yeah. What do you do well?
What do I do well? Outside work or?
Anything.
Play basketball well, for sure.
Yeah? What do you play? You play 4? What do you have, 5?
I play 3 back in the days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, once in a while I still play, but this past few months, moving off. I'm into running right now, so.
Oh, cool.
Man, different.
Hitting the different sport, less activity.
Yeah.
Are you an NBA guy? Do you follow NBA?
Yeah, I follow NBA.
Oh, okay. This is good.
Big LeBron fan.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, so but I'm a New York Knicks fan now.
Okay, I was gonna ask that question. You're a Knicks fan. You're a Knicks supporter. Okay.
Jalen is the new king, man.
I love it. Do you make it out to games once in a while?
I've been once. Yeah.
Yeah, you're working, I'm sure. What do you want to do better?
I think I should have took care of my health on my early career. So I'm realizing it now. I mean, your body and your mind is the greatest tool you have to have this longevity of the career that you want to do. So yeah, just taking care of my health.
Yeah, great sentiment. I think a lot of chefs in the industry listening should follow that.
I'm sure a lot of people are realizing now. Like, I realized it like 3 years ago. We start having these back problems and food problems. So yeah, but now I'm eating well, eating better.
Yeah, you're feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good.
I like to hear that.
Yeah.
You're smiling, that's for sure. I love that. If you could eat through a city for a day, where would you go?
Oh, easy. Manila. A lot of upcoming restaurants over there, man. You should. Have you visited Manila?
I've never been to Manila. I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, you should. A lot of great restaurants. Great restaurants.
Tell us about Manila a little bit. When you're flying in, like how do you visit Manila as somebody who's never been to the Philippines?
Yeah, so I think back in the days, like for example, 10 years ago, there's no proper Filipino food restaurant over there.
Wow.
But now, yeah.
Like you mean proper meaning like Western?
Yeah,
like,
a lot of Italian, French food.
Yeah.
But now is like a lot of upcoming like Filipino food restaurants. So
yeah.
Filipino restaurants. So yeah, I mean you can start with street food. A lot of great street food over there, like the skewers, barbecues, and those stuff. But if you want a proper experience, go to these restaurants, like for example Toyo, Metis, which I'm doing a collab with. So these are great restaurants.
Yeah.
Proper Filipino food and Filipino service.
Have you visited there with Chintan and Ronnie?
Yeah, when we last visited Manila, I was with them. We went to those restaurants and they were blown away.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be curious about that discourse between those guys and you about Filipino cuisine. What are you guys talking about at the table?
Yeah, so what we did before we fly to Manila is we tried all those Filipino restaurants over here. So I told them we should try it over here, then compare the food over there. So I was like, man, this is like 100 times better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're very lacking here in New York. So we haven't produced a proper Filipino restaurant here. That's why it's very hard to represent the Filipino food over here. So that's what we're trying at Knox right now, serving proper and honest Filipino food using the best ingredients that we can have in the market.
Let's tap into that. So what's holding back some of these restaurants? Is it the availability of products? Is it maybe not a chef like with your caliber running it?
It's not the product because we have it over here. It's very, you can reach everything. Like you can just buy everything in the market. Like products over here are very good. It's the heart that you put in the cuisine, like the pride that you have for the cuisine. So, and a lot of people take shortcuts, man. They just cut corners just to serve and make money.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what lacking in this cuisine. So we need to work a lot doing that. Like everything is homemade, so you can feel it. You can feel that it's
Really, really smart point. I mean, when you're not making all of your sauces, what are you doing?
Just buy the bottle stuff.
Yeah, no, and like the bottle stuff. No,
It
it's not
tastes good, but it tastes better. Like if it tastes like 1% better, it makes all the difference.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a good point about like product. It's not about products. It's about the time.
It's very time consuming.
Exactly. Your restaurant is, just looking at all the plates you serve, it's so much work that goes into it.
That is true.
It's an amazing place. So I'm in Manila, but the Philippines is vast, and I've looked at the map, and I've like wanted to visit. Believe me. How do you think about visiting the Philippines outside of Manila?
There's a lot of places, especially in the south. We have this place called Cebu. A lot of good street food, a lot of seafood, and this one is the upcoming one is Iloilo. So they say it's the next big thing in the Philippines. So like food scene over there is it's upcoming. So you should visit that. And the thing with me also, like I want to explore more southern food, like the Mindanao side, which is the southern part of the Philippines. So my next trip, I'll be there for sure.
Yeah. Do you go back often?
No, the last time I was there is like 2 years ago. So probably early next year I'll be there.
Oh, cool.
Exploring a lot of food and
exploring
and showcasing it to Knox.
That's exciting. The one thing you can't resist splurging on when you're going out for dinner.
Oh yeah. A good steak for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I rarely go out, so when I go out, I'll drink a good amount. So cocktails. I'm not into wines, but cocktails and beers. So
yeah. Is there a restaurant visit you've made recently that comes to mind?
And I like last week I went to because I live in Elmhurst. I love Thai food.
Yeah.
And Elmhurst is like the spot for it. I went to Ayada.
Oh yeah, I love that place.
It's the spot every time.
It's never disappointing.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Really good food, man.
They can bring the heat sometimes.
Yeah, some of the dishes, but I love that.
No, of course.
I've been cooking Indian food.
No, cooking Indian food for 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years, 9 years. Yeah, 8 years.
Yeah.
Used to it.
Do you miss cooking Indian food?
I don't miss cooking it. I miss eating it.
Yeah. You're cooking your own food right now.
Yeah.
So this is better. What do you value most in restaurants?
Heart. I mean, you can, like what I said, you can feel it, you can taste it if people cares.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You can definitely do that. Yeah. When you're phoning it in, it translates to the plate. It's your last meal on earth. What are you eating?
Oh, shoot. Probably a Kamayan feast.
Okay, let's take me through that. That sounds heavy. I like it. It sounds
you
great.
have your loved ones, you have your friends around the table. So it's a banana leaf set up on the table, pile of a lot of dishes like lechon. You have like the grilled pork belly, a lot of fresh fruits, a lot of fresh vegetables, a lot of varieties of dipping sauces, and you eat with your hands. It's a messy thing, but it's fun.
Eric Valdez, thank you for taking the Resy questionnaire.
It's a pleasure, sir. Thank you for having me.
We talk about health a lot on the show. You know, protein maxing is all the rage. We're on the NA beer train, of course. And probiotic sodas, some call those millennial Metamucil. But I want to talk about skin health for a second. Everybody should be thinking about skin health. It's important, and I look to OneSkin, the world's first skin longevity company, for a little help. Now, I've used OneSkin's OS1 hydrating sunscreen for walking around New York City in the blazing sun. I wish I had OneSkin while traveling through sun-soaked Bologna on an epic gelato crawl. And for the record, you cannot miss Santo Stefano and Cavour. Those are my gelato picks. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. For a limited time, you can try OneSkin with 15% off using promo code TASTEPOD at oneskin.co. That's 15% off using code TASTEPOD.
Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar, zero patience for slow walkers, those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night, have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Fardad Khayami, welcome to This Is Taste. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very honored to be on your podcast. Thank you very much for having me.
I'm excited to chat with you. We're here in Los Angeles and doing some episodes here on the ground, and I got to go to Muse last night.
Yes, it was a pleasure to have you and your friends last night.
Yeah.
You had a good meal?
Yeah. Oh, it was a great meal, and we'll talk about that. We had Khayami Marcus and Miles Sobroff, some real good friends there.
Lovely people.
Great
Lovely people.
crew. We tried the menu you cooked for us. Before we get to the restaurant, I want to hear about LA. When you're not in Santa Monica at your restaurant working, where are you dining out right now?
I'll give you 3 restaurants
Sure.
that I'm loving right now that I frequent. One's Dunsmore.
Yeah.
It's quite the drive. It's about an hour from where we are in Santa Monica. It's about a 2-hour drive to get there. But what Brian's doing there is just excellent. I love his food. I love his cooking. And I love him as well. He's a great man, a great chef.
Yeah.
He's got a great team. You know, a lot of restaurants that you go to today. When I go to Dunsmore, I feel that everybody in that restaurant really cares about the restaurant, which is becoming harder and harder to find with the restaurants that you go, not in LA, but around the world. So I love being at Dunsmore. I love River.
Oh, yeah.
Bikini. Have you been?
I have been.
You have been. So the River is about a 5-minute drive from the restaurant, 10-minute drive from the restaurant. And they're open. They close their kitchen at like 11:15. So if we send out food early and I'm able to get away from the
can sneak
restaurant,
away.
I can see if I'm really hungry and I haven't eaten something at the restaurant, then I'll pop over to the River for some hand rolls and some grilled vegetables. It's gorgeous. I also really love Funky.
Yeah.
I really love Funky. You know, a lot of their team come to our restaurants, and
great.
when I go there, they take great care of us. So
I'm having
beautiful
Evan
food.
in the studio later this week.
Fantastic.
I'm checking out
He's a
Funky
lovely
tonight.
man. He's a lovely man.
Yeah.
Great chef. Great team too. His front of house, back of house, excellent.
Yeah.
His team has stayed the same since the opening.
Yep.
It's really lovely. The wine director, Emanuele, just everyone there is top notch.
I love
them.
that. Well, take me back to growing up. I want to hear about your experience with restaurants, because I feel like with opening Muse at such a young age, you clearly, at an early age, understood what made a great restaurant. So what were some of the restaurants in your life growing up?
Well, first of all, you're very kind for that compliment. Thank you for the compliment of saying that
it's
about
really
Muse,
true.
But thank you. My first experience with food and hospitality was not in restaurants, but with my grandfather. My grandfather was quite the passionate chef. He was a lovely man, and he loved to just go buy lovely ingredients, cook all day, and then serve his family. And we'd go to his house every Sunday for lunch.
This is in London?
In London, yes,
Yeah.
in London. We grew up in London. So that was the first time that I recognized the effect that food had on me and around the other people on the table in terms of bringing people together, nourishing them, and making them feel happy, making them feel loved through the service, through the serving, through my grandfather who was in his 70s and such. He was an older man, but the way that he would get off with his chair and have so much power, I'd see him have the most energy for life when he was serving. When we were Persians, so we were making beautiful stews and so on. A lot of family recipes, which he's passed down on to me now.
Yeah.
But having him, scoop rice on my plate, put stew on my plate, telling me how I should eat the stew that he's prepared that day. It's through love and hospitality that one of those ways in life that you can really feel loved. And so that was my first experience with hospitality growing up. And then I worked in restaurants, just local restaurants here and there. I got the chance to go to some really lovely restaurants growing up, particularly one restaurant one individual in a restaurant that is one of my largest inspirations is a beautiful gentleman called Diego Masiaga, who was the general manager of the Waterside Inn, which is a lovely 3 Michelin star restaurant in Bray. Very, very, very classic French restaurant from the Roux brothers. And the way that Diego would command the food there was excellent. But what really made it special was Diego. So this was, I would say, my first time was saying, wow, that love my grandfather showed me, watching the way that Diego was on the floor, the way he would conduct the servers, the way he would touch each table, the way he would do tableside presentations. It was, it made me realize that, service is service, but there's this hospitality thing that you can replicate in a restaurant. You can show your guests that you love them, that you're here to take care of them, and that you can touch them and make them feel loved and make them feel cared for, which is, I say every other sentence I say loved or cared for. And it's the truth. It's what's at the very core of what we do at Muse and what our goal is at Muse. So my grandfather, Diego, working in restaurants, obviously you learn how things operate. You learn what works, what doesn't work well, what a good chef is, what a not good chef is. And then obviously, we started a little based on all those experiences. I staged at some really lovely restaurants while I was in college.
Yeah, I know that
in college I started a little pop-up restaurant in my dorm room.
We'll get to that, the pop-up at USC, which was wildly successful. So let's talk about those stages before we get to the pop-up in USC, which was a huge success and led to Muse. What were the stages like, and did you have any formal culinary training, or were you just like jumping in?
No formal culinary training, just working at the local pub in the Italian restaurant. And then the stages, I saw the stage that I loved the most, that affected me the most, was I staged at 1917, which is a lovely restaurant in the Cheval Blanc in Courchevel. And I was in charge of like one component on one dish, which was the first dish to go out.
Incredible.
And oh my Lord, the amount of care and attention and professionalism, but also the fun too. The type of hospitality at that restaurant, that's what made me realize, alongside with Diego, that this can be fun. Even though it's fine dining, even though we're very serious about our food, very serious about our service, we can still have a good time doing it. We don't have to be screaming at each other. The chefs were not screaming at each other. It was organized, it was calm, but it was also fun. And there was this camaraderie that was when you're going up and you're thinking, you're working in restaurants and you see things and you read certain books, you get scared of what the industry might be. But at least the places that I worked, that I've experienced, they're not like that. I love that. It was with compassion. Yeah,
it's refreshing to hear somebody who's under 30, who's now has a restaurant and is creating a culture within Muse, who wasn't trained in the old way. Because we talk about on the show a lot, the old way, the brigade system, the screaming, you have to pay your dues. A lot of chefs come on the show and often wax nostalgic about that time. And
it
fair enough.
certainly would have benefit. Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline is something that's very important. And sometimes you might go to a restaurant. You might be sitting at a counter of a restaurant and see a lack of discipline, which I don't think is a positive. But it's a balance. It's a balance.
Yeah.
You need organization. You need discipline. You need standards that need to be maintained. But it doesn't need to be at the cost of humanity.
Right. It doesn't need to be a culture of fear.
Right.
So
exactly.
you've created.
You said it perfectly. Exactly.
And you've created you were raised in an era where that was unacceptable in some ways. I'm sure there's plenty of restaurants, obviously, in the 3 Michelin star system that have people throwing knives around. But for the most part, that tendency is left. And you now, being a very young restaurateur and chef, you haven't been trained in that way. And I would hope that more folks are trained that way.
I love what you said about fear. It's something that, one of the things that being a restaurateur, being a chef, and having employees, one thing that I've been thinking about more and more each day is what type of leader do I want to be? What sort of owner of a business do I want to be? And you said it perfectly. I want each of my employees, all of our suppliers, every third party that we work with, and so on, to come to work every single day, not with fear, but with love. Mm-hmm. With love for doing a good job, not because they're scared they'll be fired or so on, because they want to do a good job for the business, because they believe in the business and they love their job working there. And if you do that, while maintaining high standards and discipline, then everyone gives not 100%, but 110%, 120%, and you get more out of your people. They go out of their way to add value to the business.
Let's push forward to USC. So you're a student there. You're obviously interested in food, but you're doing studies. Something happens, and I want to hear the story, but you start cooking for your roommates, and you start cooking these pop-ups, and the pop-ups start becoming popular. And from my reporting, I think Resy had a terrific article about you, about you grew to 6,000 on your wait list to get in. Fardad, what was going on with this pop-up? It sounds really unique.
There was no planning. It was just every single day. It was passion. We loved it. Started very small. Again, it was some of the best things in life were not planned. Some of the best things in life, they just unraveled through spontaneity. And that's exactly what this was. So I moved here for USC, for university. When I was 16, my grandfather, he moved to Los Angeles, and he didn't have much family in LA, and he was my role model, my idol, not only for food, but in all walks of life. So I decided to study the SATs. I got into USC, and I would continue to have dinner at his house, just him and I now, not the rest of the family, but just him and I would have dinner. And he'd cook for me, and he sadly passed during my sophomore year. And it was then where, he wasn't cooking for me, but to sort of keep his legacy, I decided I was going to cook for my roommates. And we did it every Sunday night, and I would cook for them. I get some ingredients, and one night, some friends came over. They'd had some of the leftovers. They came after dinner. They said, "Can we come next week for actual dinner?" I said, "Sure, of course." So they came the next week. And then the next week they brought friends. And then their friends brought friends. And then their friends brought friends. And all of a sudden I've got 2 Trader Joe's bags walking into my dorm room apartment. I basically had a little camp stove.
This is literally a dorm room.
This is a dorm room, yeah. So at the beginning, eventually we were serving some people. We needed to get a bigger apartment by our senior year. But our sophomore year, I tried to open the door of our dorm room, but I couldn't because there were so many people blocking the door, waiting to be fed. And then I sort of looked around and all these people enjoying our food. Then I looked at my bank account. I'm like, wow, we're paying a lot of money cooking for these people.
Because you weren't charging, you were just doing it for fun.
Not that. It was like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We were, grocery bill was like, what, $100, $150. I was like, I got to start charging these people. This is not sustainable. So, okay. $5 for everybody, and then we had to start taking reservations because we couldn't do like 100 covers in a room like this big at once. So we started taking reservations. We started charging
for your dorm room.
Yes,
you started taking reservations.
Yeah, we started taking reservations.
That is, so you were doing like multiple turns.
We were doing one turn. It was one seating. Guests would come in. They'd have some. This wasn't exactly a sanctioned restaurant.
Take me through the menu. Yeah, what were they having?
It was anything. It was anything we wanted to cook across cuisines. There was no rules. No rules at all. It was wake up, we were full-time students at the time. So it was whatever time in between classes, run to the market, run here, run to the butcher shop, whatever we could get our hands on, whatever we wanted to cook, whatever my roommates that I lived with my senior year, they were not part of museum, but so whatever leftovers they had in the fridge, it was basically anything we put together. I had a cookbook across cuisines, and it could be more French, it could be more Asian. We did a Persian night, we did an Indian. I love Indian food, great Indian food in London. So we did a lot of Indian nights. It was basically anything that we wanted to cook, anything we wanted to serve, we served. Guests would come in, they'd have a couple cocktails, and we'd do dinner, and then turn into a bit of a party afterwards. It was quite
a little after party.
It was fun.
So are we talking like, is this like 10 people in their dorm room?
No, so it was 30 guests twice a week.
30
So we're doing
guests.
60 guests a week.
So it was like an apartment style. You had a little more room. It's not like the single sitters.
I'll show you photos. But essentially, by our senior year, we said let's invest a little bit in this. So we got a little off campus apartment, about a 5-minute walk from USC.
Yeah.
We converted our bedrooms into the dining room. We take our mattresses out every single night.
So cool.
Leave them on the side of the road, which wasn't a good idea because one night we came and there was a homeless person sleeping on our mattress.
Yeah.
But
This is so good.
so
Life at LA restaurants right there.
It was again to answer your question, what was it like? It was just, we were full-time students doing this every single night. It was fun. It was exciting. We were making money. I was able to apply what I was learning in class to the business. I studied business with accounting and finance and economics, so microeconomics. So I was able to, apply what I learned in class to, let's make a pricing model. Let's make our balance sheet, and this is what this is, and that's what unearned revenue is.
You had a
and
P&L
so on.
going on. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Yes,
for museum, which is the pop-up that was. So how'd you skirt the DOH, the Department of Health? Was it just like you were hoping that no one would snitch on you?
I have no comments.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's actually good.
we had a I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but we had a property manager, lovely man. It was student housing where we live, where we were doing this. But he walked in, he's like, "You built a bar, you built a fake wine wall that leads into your bedrooms. What are you guys doing?" Thankfully, he was a fan of tequila, so a bottle of tequila once a month, and that was our permanent fee.
tax.
I shouldn't say that, but
No, you can say that. I think enough time has passed, and it was all done in goodwill, and nobody died. Nobody died that you know of from eating.
I don't want to drink our own Kool-Aid too much, but the reason we did it was, one, it was nice to have, we needed to help pay rent and our living expenses. Two, I did want to apply what I was learning in class to the business. So now I don't remember. And then the third thing was connecting people. In college, what I found was you meet a lot of people, but not very genuine relationships, not very genuine connections. And we wanted to create a space where you could come and really get to know somebody. And USC is such a great school, such a diverse school with so many different majors, so many international students, some people from so many different lives, starting so many fun projects. Having people come to space and meeting and connecting, and there's so many partnerships, so many friendships, so many relationships, be it business, friendship, or love that's formed in our little dorm room. So it was an amazing thing for us, but also I think I do think it added value to being a student at that time.
Of course, and you were building towards a greater goal. What year are we talking? When was museum running?
I graduated May of 2022. I started at USC in August of 2018.
This is amazing. So you're here. This is like a little bit. This is during the pandemic. So you're kind of like getting people in person together when it's cool to do that. So 22, you wrap museum, and I mean, Fardad, is it just right away you're like, I need to open a restaurant in Los Angeles?
By the time on graduation day, yes. Go back 8 months, and I was making that decision. So I had a full-time offer to join. I'd interned in finance throughout my time at university, and I was very lucky to secure a full-time offer. I had a great company at a great firm.
Wow.
But and I had a really good relationship with my boss, with my managing director there.
So you worked there?
I worked there the summer of my junior year, the summer before my senior year. I worked there, and by the end of my internship, I got a full-time offer to work there. So
here in Los Angeles, you're working
in London. In London. I was going to go back home.
Yeah.
I was going to go back home. So, but I got very good. Got very close with the owner of that business, who was a wonderful man, Mike. And Mike and I would call all the time during my senior year with all of his staff. He's very hands-on, and he cares about his people. And he's a big inspiration for me. And I was talking to Mike, and I was telling Mike, I'm running this business. I'm excited to come work for you. And Mike said, well, why don't you start your own business? Well, why don't you think about it? Think about it. I thought, do you not want me to work?
Yeah,
were
you trying to
rescind? Are you trying to rescind your offer? He said, no, I think what's best. And then I spoke to my friends at school, and then I had a conversation with my father, and sort of, what he said is, you're going to learn way more doing this, running your own business, than you did at 4 years at business school, and more than you would at anything else. And I spoke to Mike, and he said, look, If it doesn't work out, you've got a desk here.
That's incredible. Well, shout out to Mike.
He's a lovely man, and he's a big mentor to me. And we still meet at least 3 times a year. We still meet. And
okay, is he an investor?
No, he's not an investor.
You didn't get him
he's not an investor, but. I'm very lucky, Mike, alongside a couple of people. I'm very lucky to have great mentors in and outside of the food business.
All right, so you find a space, right? Like let's jump ahead. You find this space in Santa Monica to open Muse. Like, what's building up to finding that space and saying this is my restaurant?
The landlord saying, "How old are you?" Absolutely not. I'm giving you our space. So when I graduated, I was very naive. I had no idea about zoning. I had no idea about liquor license liquor regulation in California.
Yeah.
None of that. So it was a big learning curve. A couple months after university was reading building codes, calling the Department of Building and Safety, and just saying, what's a conditional use permit? How do you change use on a property? Sort of like what's the criteria that we need? How's it going to be possible to open a restaurant? So all of that, I looked at maybe 90 spaces, put offers on 20.
Dang.
19 said absolutely not. One said absolutely not, but I fell in love with the space and I was harassing the landlord's representative every single week. So the space where we are. So that became available. It was a former restaurant. Mm-hmm. Anyone who's
steakhouse, right?
It was a steakhouse. Yep. Anyone who's opened a restaurant knows that you want to take over a space that was previously a restaurant. What's so expensive about opening a restaurant is all the MEP, the mechanical, the engineering, the electrical, the plumbing. So we were very lucky to find this space. It was a former restaurant. There was no key money, which is very very rare. Yeah. And just a lease, and a landlord, lovely landlord who is our landlord now, but who was asking very reasonable rent. The economics were right. Everything was right about the building. I loved the location. When I was driving to the restaurant for the first time, anyone who's from Los Angeles knows that if you're driving to West Channel or up to connect PCH via West Channel to go to Malibu, when you drive down San Vicente, you take the right on 7th Street. You see the mountains ahead of you. Then it curves around. You see the ocean with all the palm trees. You fall in love. And then you walk around the area and everyone is so kind. Everyone is so nice. You feel the Palisades are such beautiful people, which made the fires even more painful. But sold the space, put an offer on it. Landlord said no, but I kept on harassing them. I said, I need this space. I'll give you an extra month of security deposit, whatever, I need this space. 6 months go by. They're still like, no. In fact, the landlord's representative blocked my phone number because then I used my brother's phone number.
Nice. That's the way.
David's phone number. Yeah. David was the bartender of the museum, and he was there for the first few months of the restaurant, helping me open it. And so finally he goes, look, I'll give you 5-minute phone call to the landlord. Call the landlord. And then we get a breakfast, and then we get a lunch, and then I cook for her. And then eventually she says, you know what? We can negotiate a lease.
That's incredible. So you cooked for her?
Yes.
Was that your insistence to cook for her?
Her grandfather bought that property in the 20s.
Yeah.
She grew up on West Channel Road. Mm-hmm. She wanted somebody who was going to take care of her space. The economics were not, she was asking very reasonable rent. The economics were very fair. She wasn't asking for double the rent or so on. She was very fair. She wanted to find somebody who was going to give love to the space. And when she saw a 22-year-old, she thought this was going to be something crazy. But after we sat down, she realized that we were going to give more love to this space than anyone else, and that's what she cared about.
And West Channel Road, just to set it up in Santa Monica, like I drove down last night. I made that turn myself, and it's one of the truly most stunning backdrops you can have for a restaurant in Los Angeles, because you've got the ocean there, you've got the mountains, and you're just
Rogers Beach. It's beautiful.
The beach, you're tucked down there, and it leads to my question: when you're opening in this extremely vibey neighborhood, do you feel like pressure to live up to the backdrop, or is it the opposite? You feel you have an opportunity to do a cool restaurant with an outrageously cool and unique background?
Museum at USC was about 3 things for me at its core. Lots changed from Museum at USC to Muse, but at its core it was about 3 things. It was about, number one, connecting people. Creating a space where people can come connect, whether it be meet new people or even just with the people that you're with. Number 2, to show off beautiful things, beautiful products that we have in California, beautiful food, beautiful wine, great cocktails, great art. We had rotating art exhibitions at museum of students, of the fellow students. Mm-hmm. And number 3, make people feel loved. So I knew that no matter what we were going to do at this space, as we need to do those 3 things. Those are the core. That's the fundamental of what we do. That's the fundamental of the restaurant. And I'd worked in fine dining. I want to do some fine dining. I also thought that the demographics of the Palisades, there's not a lot of fine dining French restaurants in the city, in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
There's not so much. You've got a lot of bistros, a lot of brasseries, but you don't have sort of a gastronomic French restaurant in LA. So my plan was, we're going to do a gastronomic French restaurant. Palisades is I thought the demographic of the Palisades would support the average Czech that would be of that concept. So, and it's what I love. It's what's in my heart. I love fine dining. I love being pampered when I'm in a restaurant. I love beautifully prepared food that's got great preparation, great ingredients. So it just all clicked. It clicked. I thought it worked for the space. It's exactly what I love, and so the vision of Muse came from that.
Yeah. Well, talk about what was happening at Muse before January 2025. What was the opening period like? Just before we get to the fires, I want to talk about the pre-fires.
Right. So the building of the restaurant was just incredible. I was blessed, and you hear me say this a lot because I really do. I really do thank God. I was blessed with an amazing team. Marc Ange, who designed the restaurant with me, our architect Galileo, Joseph Moore and Eli, who were on the construction side, did a fantastic job. Wasn't without its challenges, building a restaurant, and even if it's an existing space, going through all the hoops with the health department, building safety, the alcoholic beverage control is not a straightforward path. It's an up and down path. So that was a thrilling journey, but quite an exhausting journey. And then became the actual opening of the restaurant.
When did you open exactly?
Well, technically we opened in the middle of August, but we were not very busy our first few weeks. So I say we opened at the beginning of September is when people started to actually come.
I mean, August is tough in any city.
August is tough. People are traveling, of course.
Yeah, you had some one cover nights, maybe zero covers. Fair.
Not that bad, but it was. We've poured so much love into this. We're all the people, and but we knew what we believed in the vision of what we were doing, and so we powered through. But I say we opened, for the record, September 2nd.
I'm reading
our opening. We're going to do our 1 year anniversary on September 2nd.
You're going to call it September.
Actually, you know what? We were close for a month in the fire, so I actually do October 2nd. But but it was crazy how fast we fed off of the community.
Yeah.
It was amazing how much the community embraced us. So like I said, we weren't very busy when we first opened. The first few weeks were not very busy. September was mildly busy. The first half of October was getting there, but still not what we wanted to be. But by the middle of October, word of mouth spread.
Yes.
And we were fully booked every single night for the second half of October, November, December. It was
35 seats around?
About 33 seats.
33, yeah.
33 seats. So, fully booked for us means for 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock's our first reservation. 9:30 is our last reservation. Fully booked means 2 turns and everything. And our 2 tops get turned 3 times.
Yeah, amazing.
So that's fully booked.
That's great.
That's fully booked for us.
Yeah.
And we were fully booked every night in November, every night in December. And it was just amazing. It was amazing. And we were serving the Palisades. The majority of our guests were people from the Palisades. And we had so many regulars just in 3 months to get all this love. It was amazing. And what I was the most, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more about the fires. What I loved the most was I was blessed about the people I had around me. Our general manager Matthew, my executive chef Jason, and our sous chef Brandon, our pastry chef Kirsten. We had really built an incredible core team, and that's what I was the most proud of.
Yeah,
that's what I was the most thankful for. The most surprised about was the management team, but also particularly in the front of house pre-fires, our front of house team hasn't changed since October.
Yeah,
midway through October, maybe there's been 2 people that are not there since it been one. Great. Actually, one. Sorry, there's only been 1 person that's not working for us in the front of house since October. That's going through a disaster of the fires, and we're closed for a month. So I was blessed and so lucky and fortunate for the people I had around me.
So things are moving along in a great way. I mean, this is, and really the media is just starting to take interest. There's a little bit on Eater, and I think, the scouts for, food and wine are out there maybe poking around a little bit.
Yes. We were very blessed to have Mark, who helped me build, who designed the restaurant with me. His wife, Hanan, is a lovely lady. She helped us with the PR a little bit at the beginning, but we didn't really have, and she did a great job and was very kind to offer to help us. But it wasn't a big PR push. Which is why we relied really on word of mouth and the locals of the Palisades.
I'm reading Juniperon's memoir, which is out this fall, and Montrachet, when it opened downtown in Tribeca, it was similar. It just no one showed up the first 3 weeks, and then 2 or 3 weeks. It's just the way restaurants are built with this kind of caliber, where you really want word of mouth and you really want neighborhood people there. So let's go to those days in January. The fires happened. I just want you to take us through just your own experience with that week and what the fallout was. Because I know this is hard. I mean, a lot of people lost their homes. And we're talking about food here. So luckily it seemed like there wasn't widespread injury in the Palisades and people got out, but I don't want to...
For the most part. A few lost their lives. But again, like I said, we felt very connected to the Palisades. Within 3 months, they gave us so much love, and to see a vibrant, beautiful community get destroyed in a blink of an eye within 24 hours, people's lives changed. It's insane. Before I go onto Muse and us, just to touch on just the devastation. I mean, so we ended up cooking for the fire department and meeting some of the firefighters. And one of the most poignant things that I heard was obviously talking to all the guests, but this one firefighter who was deployed, he just happened to be from the Palisades. He went to the elementary school in the Palisades, and he happened to be there to watch it burn down. He was part of the task that was meant to be there putting out that fire that was burning down the school. And what he said to me was something I'll never forget with my life. Is he said, I watched all my childhood memories vanish before my eyes. And I was there with my crew, with our fire trucks. We were giving it our all, but no matter what we did, nature kept pushing us back and took my childhood memories in its way. And I get emotional talking about it now because it's just devastating. It's just devastating. But I really do get emotional. It's really, really sad.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, that from January, from the probably the most challenging month of my life from so far, hopefully ever.
Yeah.
January 7th to when we reopened on Valentine's Day on the 14th, definitely the most challenging period of my life. So far, we're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. The fire started on January 7th, which was a Tuesday. And so the fire's in my window, and I thought, what's going on? Again, when you see, I'm like, that's in the direction of the restaurant. Like, God, I hope we didn't leave the oven on or something.
Yeah.
So I looked at the CCTV of the restaurant. Everything's fine. Our pastry team gets into the restaurant on Tuesday to prepare for the week to get a head start. And they're all there, and I called Kirsten, like, is everything okay? Kirsten was there, our pastry sous chef, my brother's sous chef, and she's like, oh, fine, just rolling out the brioche, just preparing the brioche for the week. Great, okay, lovely. Then I switch on the news, and obviously, you just, oh my God, and I look even closer, I see fires on the mountains from my window. It was insane. So we drive over to the restaurant. We're like, we know we're not going to open anytime soon. So we start evacuating all the food. We get the evacuation notice. You've got to leave the area, get out of the area. Our restaurant was deep within this might not be here tomorrow zone. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So we were evacuating all the food and all the art.
The food is one thing, but the art in your face.
So we were all the art, all the food, and you just see all the fire trucks going by, and in that moment we thought, well, we've got all this food. Our restaurant might burn down, but at the very least, all this food is going to go off. We got to do something with it. So we got thankfully we had David, who was, as I said, was making the cocktails at museum and was by my side the entire way until we opened the restaurant. Now no longer at the restaurant, but pursuing other careers. But David had the contact of a fire chief, so we got into talk with that fire chief and said, do you guys have food? Like, do you guys want filet mignon for dinner? Yeah. He goes, yeah, we'd love filet mignon for dinner. So we cooked them dinner, and then the next
in the restaurant you could still cook the
No, we lost power. We lost power. So at my apartment. Yeah. Thankfully, like I said, we were fully booked November, December. Thank God we had a very financially successful November, December. Without that, I'm not sure if we would have gotten through the month of January, but we were able to keep all of our staff on our payroll.
Amazing.
To keep them all full time through January. The first thing I did is send an email to them. At least I don't know if the restaurant's going to burn down, but no matter what happens, you're all Muse employees until the end of January, no matter what. But we're all going to come to my apartment. I'm going to cook for the fire department because we've got food that's going to go off and they need food. Because imagine mobilizing thousands of men on the federal, state, and city level. How are you going to feed them all? So we started feeding, cooking, delivering the food. We had to smuggle our way through the checkpoints because that area was in
you were like, I'm bringing filet for the front line.
Exactly.
You guys got to let me through.
So we cooked for them. So that was at the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday. By the Saturday, we saw that they had established other means of getting food. They got food trucks there. The city did an amazing job getting food and resources to them. That Wednesday they were basically living off granola bars and Gatorade, but at least to what I saw. And then by the Saturday they had food trucks coming in. They did a really great job mobilizing resources there on the food side. And then I went to the fire chief, this lovely Captain Kidahats, and I said to him, "CO sees that you got other people doing lunch and dinner, And we were in back of my mind, so we're also running out of all the food. We've cooked for all the food that we've had at the restaurant. Sees that you guys have other means of, is there anything else that you guys need?
Yeah.
And he goes, you're right, we have other people making us food and lunch. But he goes, but since you ask, no one's coming at 4 a.m. making us breakfast. Why don't you do it? He's got smoke on his face. Because he just came from finding a fire.
You can't say no to that.
Ash on his face. He's got holes in his jacket from the embers of the fire that had burned it. You can't say no. All right, team. We're making their breakfast burritos every morning, 500.
Yeah.
And then it was too much for my. We were doing it out of my apartment, so making them, delivering them every single morning at 4 a.m. And to help get up to that, they needed 500 to get up to that 500. We had 2 other restaurants help us out, particularly Mattia De Gazzi and the Gucci Asteria team in Beverly Hills did a phenomenal job helping us out, making food for them for their breakfast. But that was January. But then we had a so we did that for January, and then we had an itch to reopen.
Yeah.
And we kept the staff on the
you also needed to survive.
Well, we needed to survive. So obviously we had a little GoFundMe that helped us with the expenses. So
was that just straight donations or were they future meals for the GoFundMe?
It was for future meals.
Yeah.
Future meals for the fire department. We raised to help us with that operation of cooking, delivering the food and so on. All the packaging and so by that Saturday, the fire had been contained, at least on one gush of wind in our direction. I feel bad saying this, but one gush of wind in our direction would have been finished for West China Road. All the restaurants and businesses on our street, all the homes, and maybe even on Entrada and so on, would have been finished. It would have been finished. That gush of wind blew north. So unfortunately, the businesses and the homes north of the epicenter, they're the ones that burned down and not West Channel Road. But by that Sunday, we knew that it was contained on our side, and the restaurant wasn't going to burn down. And we knew that one day we're going to reopen. We're going to open one day. We didn't know when. By the middle of January, we got power back. By January 20th, around the 21st, I think. My dates might not be completely right, but around the 21st, 26th, 22nd, 23rd, we got the clear. We were no longer in the evacuation zone. But the only thing we didn't have was water. And my team, as I said, we kept them on the payroll for January. Of course, we were monitoring our cash flow, and we had a runway that we were approaching the end of course. But also our team, even though we're paying them 40-hour weeks, still we're talking about the food business. The majority of their take-home pay comes from tips. Now in California, you still got to pay your employees minimum wage, unlike other states where you can pay them $2 an hour, so you make up the rest on tips. In California, you pay them minimum wage, around $18 an hour. So we're paying that. But again, for particularly the front of house, the majority of them, they get their take-home pay from tips, from gratuities. And even though we're paying them, there's still some of them seeing a 50% decrease in their take-home pay, and that's not sustainable for them. And just doing this is not sustainable for us. So we did a pop-up at the San Vicente Bungalows in Santa Monica. Mr. Klein was so kind to give us a space in his home and space in his club and to share half of their kitchen with us, and an excellent job that my team did. I mean, I am so proud of them he gave us a space not so much bigger than this, maybe double the size of this. It was their library in his private club.
That's great.
Every single night we converted that library into a restaurant. Yeah. We took over half of their kitchen, and a whole new communication system, a whole new firing system, a whole new kitchen. We had to adapt a lot of things to their kitchen. And we did 2 weeks of amazing. We were able to bring in revenue, able to generate
it's like
tips,
money coming
gratuities,
in, keeping the team sharp.
keeping the team sharp. But still, we wanted to get back to Muse.
Of course.
And we were not in an evacuation zone. We didn't have power, but we had not an evacuation zone. We had power, but we didn't have water. And so when that happened, when we got all the utility, when we got power out of evacuation zone back around the 21st of January, I was like, okay, we don't have water. City wasn't able to establish clear guidelines on when water would be back, which makes planning for business quite difficult. If you don't know if it's going to be days,
they're not giving you like
weeks,
a 30-day window,
months or years. There was a law in California passed after the Paradise fires in 2018 that when a community burns down, you got to switch off the water supply until you can test that it's uncontaminated. And DWP were being incredibly thorough, doing an amazing job, making sure that the water was clean. But there was uncertainty. They didn't know when the water would become clean. They didn't know how long it would take to flush out the system to the extent that the contamination was. So that made planning very difficult. And I sort of woke up one morning almost as a joke and thought, what if we bring our own water? Like, what if we bring our own water to the restaurant? And I found this website called Tank Depot.
Yeah. It sounds
it
is what it sounds like.
Almost as a joke. I'm like, there's no way we actually have to do this. This is ridiculous. This is a terrible idea. But as a joke, I sent a photo of a potable water tank, like a water tank that's FDA approved to hold clean drinking water. I sent it to my managers. I'm like, haha, if we don't get water back, we'll do this. Like as a joke, everyone's haha, yeah, of course. But then as we were getting to the end of our pop-up at San Vicente for 2 weeks, I thought, just for times, desperate measures.
So what's the biggest source, the need for water in a restaurant? When you're thinking about the logistics of bringing your own water in.
What we're using water for, everything.
Yeah.
Front of house, hand sinks, toilets, back of house, dishwashing machine, sanitation equipment, washing. We still brought in like jugs of water for like making our stocks and our sauces and so on, and our syrups in the bar and whatnot. But
and of
for
course
all
for
the
customers
things that are
drinking too,
right? And for customers drinking, we did all jugs of water. But you need potable. Even we could have served it. We could have used it. It was licensed. I got the water tested.
Fine,
I got those tanks in. And I don't know why I was feeling very ambitious. I said, we're opening on Valentine's Day. 14th of February, we're opening, no matter what. And I learned my lesson on this. I was like, you know what? And I'm going to plumb it myself. Realized very quickly I'm a terrible plumber.
Respect to the plumbers out there.
I plumbed it myself, tied into the system, got these reduction brushes, get them like this into our bowl valves and this, got the tape. And then I found this, there's only about a handful of companies in California which are licensed to transport clean drinking water, potable water. Found one of them, this lovely company that actually supplies Fort Irwin in the Mojave Desert. Convinced them to come to Los Angeles. Of course, they'd never taken their trucks to LA before, because why would you need to transport water into a city with city plumbing? Convinced them to come. They fill up the water tanks. I'm feeling like on the top of the world. I'm like, fuck yeah, the tanks worked. It's great. This guy Herb with the water tank, he came, he filled up the tanks. It was amazing. Then I look back, everything's fucking leaking. Everything, the water
it's just
leaking.
Gushing.
From one tank gushing, the other one's dripping.
Oh my gosh.
I was telling you, the most challenging period of my life. That probably was the 3 worst days of my life. Because I had now 2,000 gallons of water stored in these tanks with leaks.
Yeah.
And no way of flushing the system. The hose had I thought I'll just fill them, switch off the bowl valve. Hose comes in 3 days.
Yeah. 3 days of,
Of just, and we needed a very particular hose.
So 3 days of leaking.
3 days of leaking.
Yeah.
I slept maybe 6 hours in those 3 days. Across those 3 days. Just taking pans underneath each one. Thankfully, there's the channel. There's a river behind our restaurant. So taking those, dumping it into the channel, putting it back, running to Home Depot, I asked ChatGPT, what do I do? They said you get this, put this putty on it and that should fix it. ChatGPT was wrong. So 3 days until the hose arrived and we could plumb it. They would plumb it out. But then that meant that we were getting to our deadline of Valentine's Day. So I called the plumber of the restaurant. Then got this crazy pump. I had to drive to Tijuana to pick up this pump and
Literally.
so on. Because it was getting held up. They held up at customs. So we just sent someone to go there and say, "Hey man, I really need this pump. Can you, whatever you do, just I've got all the paperwork. Here's our EIN. Here's everything. Just please give us the pump, man." Cut the pump. Got in a restaurant.
Drove it
Got
up
installed.
from
Switched
Tijuana.
on the system on Thursday afternoon, the 13th. That Thursday afternoon. Open Valentine's Day on the 14th.
So you switch it on and it flushes out
switch
the
it.
system and it's like, let's go.
And it worked. I
That's
mean, if that didn't
incredible.
switch on, we would have had to cancel 80 reservations for Valentine's
So
Day.
you had the
which
people
would have
booked
been-
and you're waiting for that switch on moment the day before.
When we switched, I don't know, I'm a little crazy. Like from 2 weeks before, like on the 1st of February, I'm like, we're opening Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
No matter what. Switch on reservations. Valentine's Day sells out within 30 minutes.
Amazing.
I was like, God, please don't make me cancel all these reservations. That would just be the
What's service
thing
like on February 14th on Valentine's Day? What's it like?
I thought I would be ecstatic. I was exhausted. I was physically and emotionally done. The team did an amazing job picking me up. You know, I had to rely, you know, the team does an amazing job every single night. I was not my best self on that night. I was just, I sat
had some
down.
stress,
I had
man.
some stress. That was a sleepless month of just constantly,
Yeah.
you know, also it was my first time owning a business and being a leader during a huge challenge like that,
Yeah.
where you know, have
Did you lose your shit?
I never lost my shit per se, but I was tired. I was very tired, you know. And it's sort of when you get to the end, it was just hard work. I didn't have time to lose my shit. It was just because I had 25 employees that relied on me, investors that relied on me to repay their loans, and landlords who lost buildings that relied on us to reopen to pay rent again. And I didn't have time to, you know, between cooking for the fire department, establishing the pop-up at San Vicente, and then reopening the restaurant with these water tanks. I didn't have a second in my day to think of anything but what's the next thing that needs to be done. And I had amazing people around me who picked up the pieces and made it all happen alongside me.
Well, let's close, and I want to ask you about the restaurant now. Today, I dined last night. I had some incredible risotto with lightly cooked langoustine. Gorgeous. One of my favorite dishes this year.
Oh, you're very kind.
And just pastry, amazing pastry too.
Thank you.
I could go over the whole menu, but we don't have time. Where are you at right now with the restaurant? How's it going?
Thank God, touch wood, we're in an amazing place. So when we reopened after the fires, it wasn't so busy, of course, but our reservations have exploded again about 2 months ago. So thank God, we're fully booked every night. We're fully booked for the next. Our reservations in those 2 weeks. We're fully booked for the next 2 weeks. So thank God, I have an amazing team around me that's stuck by our side. You know, like that month. I mean, we also have an amazing back of house team now. At the opening of the restaurant, it was hard to find the right team, but we've got an amazing back of house team, an amazing front of house team. I'm so grateful for the love and the care that they put into it every single day. The business is doing very well. Thank God.
I love to hear that.
And it's also allowed us to push. You know, I think the restaurant is anywhere. Every single aspect of the restaurant is anywhere between 20 to 80% better today than it was in December. We've been able to just push everything, our service, our hospitality, the playlist, the lighting, our valet service, obviously the food as well, and the execution of our dishes too.
Yeah, well, let's leave it there. I wanted to have you in to talk about your story, which is remarkable. This was a little light on food detail, and that's okay, because we're going to do this again. I would love to have you back.
It'd be my pleasure
on the show, and let's check in like a year or so, because I know things are going to be in an even better place for Muse. I'm pulling for you, Fardad. I really respect you. Thank you so much for joining This Is Taste.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me today.
This Is Taste is hosted and produced by Eliza Barbanel and me, Matt Rodbar. The show is edited by lead producer Clayton Gumbert and supervised by Pat Stango, Director of Media Production and Development at Penguin Random House. Thanks to Shalia Harris and the production team at Penguin Random House. Theme music by Steve Rydell. Logo and guest illustrations by Ellie Skurzat. Visit Taste online at tastecooking.com and make sure to subscribe to our newsletter to keep updated on all cool things in the world of taste.